G'day! In today's video, I'm going to have a little bit of rant about multiplayer and how clean, sterile and commercial it has become. What do I mean by multiplayer? I mean anything that's a PvP, competition-based game, be it something like a sports game or a shooting game, soccer, basketball, football, first-person shooter, third-person shooter, anything that involves some form of competitive nature to it, especially in the mainstream games, has become considerably more clean, sterile, commercial, and less fun, to be quite frank. Going back years ago, I remember playing on most Half-Life 1 mods, and some of them were the most jankiest games you could get. One thing I remember in particular was on Dust, I think it was Dust 1 on CS 1.3, 1.5, somewhere around that era, where essentially right at the spawn of the counter-terrorists, you could essentially boost someone into the skybox. So it required a little bit of coordination and cooperation to be able to do it, but essentially be able to get them pushed up higher than the level. And in turn, they could run around the set zone and shoot straight down at people. Granted, if anyone looked up at them, they're a clear open target. But most of the people there got the drop on the person walking into this area because they're looking straight down at them, and you're not going to be looking up for an enemy. That eventually got patched out. Completely fair. That gave one team or one player a slight advantage. But sometimes you just want to stuff around, and that's where it was very humorous. People would stuff around, you'd do that, you'd do the exploit on the map, and you'd be absolute tossers about it, and you'd have voice chat for all, and it would be pretty darn fun. It wouldn't be competitive, but it would be fun. Then we go on to Counter-Strike Source, and in that, when it first came out, used to have barrels and just junk floating around the level. You could utilise those barrels for some quite humorous things. You could shoot them over or push them over into a corner, hide behind them for a slight advantage. But then as Counter-Strike become more and more competitive, more and more funded, more and more commercial, the barrels disappeared, or the barrels were now a fixed object that could not move, thus in turn removing some of the janky nature and the random element of playing the multiplayer. There used to be various Half-Life 1 mods that were, you'd go on there and they'd almost feel like the game is completely broken, but it would be absolutely fun. For example, playing Natural Selection, and I remember there was Natural Selection Expanded, which was, you'd have the base game, you'd have a third-party mod installed, an admin tool, and from there that just allowed extra abilities. So you're able to have rocket launchers that do 4 times the amount of damage if you leveled up enough. I remember joining a random game, me and my mate at 2 in the morning, and just spamming the hell out of grenades in an enclosed area, completely wiping out most of the opposition, and then all of a sudden we just see the chat and it comes up with no nades, no nades, no nades. Oh shit, what have we done? We didn't get the boot, but it was a power trip for a space of about 30 seconds until we realised that no, we shouldn't have done that, and then we stopped doing that. But that was some of the jank that these multiplayers had, where they were just smaller communities, smaller, allowed more flexibility of the game, more alterations. Going back to Unreal Tournament, even older, used to get mutilators, I can't remember what they particularly called them, but for example it would be a simple one. You'd enable it and it'd be like big head mode. The more kills you get, the bigger your head, which means you're an easier target. Just simple stuff like that is now completely gone. The last time I had fun in GTA 5, or GTA Online, joined a game with mates, done the same repetitive missions that I get bored of after about 20 minutes, but I was talking crap to everyone. All of a sudden someone joins, spawns everyone onto a mountain, look up at the sky, and there's airplanes falling onto everybody. The most random crap, most jankiest jank. It was hilarious. It's my best memory of the game. It's the best memory of the multiplayer of that game. And that wasn't something that anyone was legitimately able to do. The last janky game that I pretty much played was BattleBit, right when it came out. I jumped aboard the wave train for that. It was janky, it was buggy, it had voice chat, it was hilarious. The amount of times I taunted people when I was dead, and they're running past me, and then they get killed, and then I'd pay out on them. It was janky, it was broken, it was hilarious and fun. Then eventually people actually figured out how to play the game, and my fun level went boom, straight through. Haven't loaded the game since. Once people learned how to snipe, it was game over for me. I didn't bother going back. But that first couple of weeks to a month, when it was fresh, new, everyone was green, it was janky as hell, it was hilarious. The amount of conversations I had with people during that game, I don't do voice chat, but I was doing voice chat in this game. Just because it was so hilarious, it was so fun. Even at the spawns where everyone had all talk, it was great. Games don't do that anymore. Why? Everyone's enclosed in their own little box. They can join, play, and then either you're the whale making their money, you're the cannon fodder for the whales. That's really about it. Custom servers with custom game modes is not really a thing anymore. Everything's locked down, has to be competitive, has to be fair, has to be balanced. Wish more games weren't like that. I just wish there was more games you just jump in, have half an hour of silly fun, and leave. Gmod back in the day, never really got into it. Shattered I didn't. I would have been the right age to get right into that. It would have been some of the jankiest, hilarious fun I think out there at the time. Sadly, I feel like there's not much replicating it. The other factor is I don't have much time to play it. But I certainly miss the jank, where you jump onto a game for half an hour to an hour, and the game mode that you're currently playing gets completely thrown out the window for whatever meta's going on in that game. Had game modes where people just go knives, or the other common one, the simple one that I normally see, or used to see in Counter-Strike is 2 people left, knives, question mark. People don't have to do it, people don't have to follow it. You get people that say, yep, okay, and they get within a gunshot and they switch to a gun and shoot them. It's jank, it's random, it's unpredictable, it's hilarious. Get other times where they're both dead serious, fight to the death. Someone wins, everyone laughs, everyone cheers, it's great. Multiplayer games need more jank. That's my thoughts. Bye.